Watch this one.
What's the verdict on the pickled egg?
Bugger pickled egg!
I like it better than tuna helper myself. Don't you, Clark?
Whether it was Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's celebration, Grandma's cooking was always the stuff of legend. Those were the good old days when family recipes and traditions were passed down from generation to generation. Always a delightful aroma in the air and a pie cooling on the open window. Today we'll have a look at forgotten barbecue foods that your grandma always had on the table. Let's start off with Jello Salad. Half a century ago, this dish was the creme de la creme of family dinner spreads. There are several variations of Jello Salad, and it's always light, sweet, and perfect for every dietary need. The anchor was usually the gelatin powder, and strawberry gelatin was the ideal choice, depending on your other ingredients. Jello salads were like blank checks. You could add your choice of delicious and healthy combinations like cottage cheese for its creamy texture and tangy flavor, along with whipped cream, fresh or canned fruits like cherries, pineapples, and more. Grandma would top the salad off with marshmallows or sour cream for that fluffy feeling. Whether it was the ambrosia salad, seafoam, or lime jello with pineapple and cheese, holiday was always a special time with this enjoyable dessert. Next up are deviled eggs. Not as scary as they sound, deviling a meal or snack was a way of making it spicy and more rich. While a ton of other meals could be deviled, the seasoned deviled eggs were certainly a bite you would look forward to on Thanksgiving. The simple yet flavorful appetizer was easy to make, consisting of a hard-boiled egg split in half. The yolk was removed and mashed with other ingredients like mayonnaise, paprika, mustard, bacon, and more. And even perhaps some sweet pickle relish. Grandma's presentation always came with as many aesthetics as the burst of flavor. Grandma's resourcefulness in the kitchen was always impressive. Everything served some dietary purpose, and even watermelon rinds didn't go to waste. If you've ever heard of pickled watermelon rinds, this is how Grandma would make them. Instead of throwing them out, they were peeled and the white parts were diced into smaller pieces and brined overnight. Next, they were boiled with a ton of ingredients, including cloves, sugar, ginger, cinnamon, and more, and then canned and refrigerated for a few days. They were fun to eat on their own and also made delicious side dishes with salad and a splash of zest. Simple barbecue side dishes like potato salad with mayo were always a staple at family gatherings. The comforting creamy dish had a rich and tangy sweet flavor thanks to the meticulous dressing. Cookbooks would prepare theirs differently, but the end product was usually similar, perhaps with just small differences in ingredients, but the key ingredients remained the same. Key ingredients like vinegar, mayo, mustard, hard-boiled eggs, and relish brought out the flavor and texture, while other variations could include sour cream, parsley, and bacon. Imagine potato salad as a chilled side piece to some roasted mutton, and I'll save you the heartache. How about some good old cucumber and onion salad, a dish that was common in the summer when fresh cucumbers were out. The salad and onion combination was famous for its crunch, and when served cold, it provided the perfect contrast to the heat and spiciness of grilled meat. Grandma's version would include the salad and onion marinade in vinegar, sugar, and paprika overnight for a deeper flavor. This American dish was always available wherever there was a family barbecue. Corn is important to every family barbecue, but did you know that corn pudding was also a thing? Grandma's corn pudding was a staple of many family dinners, a true delight of the southern and midwestern kitchen. Believe it or not, the origin of corn pudding dates back to Native American cuisine. Natives had a wide variety of corn-based dishes that evolved especially in the South because of the abundance of corn crops. The dish became a large part of holiday meals and potlucks, and if you're craving this nostalgic dish, all you need are the following ingredients: canned corn, milk or cream, eggs, flour, cornmeal, butter, sugar, and spices like nutmeg, cinnamon, pepper, and salt. Grandma served this creamy side dish with some traditional roast turkey or barbecued meat with some greens. Grandma's special recipe of baked beans with bacon was a flavorful, hearty dish that combined tender beans in a sweet and tangy sauce, well garnished with a savory and smoky flavor of roast bacon. The comfort food is a barbecue favorite, having its roots in the indigenous northeastern U.S., where beans were often slow-cooked with maple syrup and animal fat. Though the dish then spread across the United States and became popular in the South and Midwest. The smoky, salty bacon was cooked to a nice crisp before being mixed with the beans and spread across the dinner table. Complementing the barbecued ribs, cornbread, and coleslaw, baked beans with bacon were great for indoor events as well as outdoors like picnics and camping. The Cabbage SLO is a simple yet beloved side spread with a Dutch origin. It found its way to the U.S. in the 18th century and has been used in burgers, sandwiches, and side dishes for barbecues and picnic meals like baked beans, potato salad, and more. Grandma's classic Cabbage SLO consisted of shredded cabbage, carrots, mayonnaise, sugar, vinegar, and if she was feeling adventurous, perhaps some buttermilk or mustard. Variations could add other elements to spice up the combo, and in some cases you would even use raisins or sour cream and apples. Whether it was rich and heavy or light, whenever you have a barbecue, you can be sure that Cabbage SLO is somewhere close by. If you stumbled upon Grandma's ham steak cuisine at a barbecue, you were in for a treat. The Southern American diet was a staple to the early settlers, alongside salted or smoked pork. Ham steak was anything but regular. The thick slice of cured or smoked ham provided an excellent taste when it was ready and garnished, either pan-fried in the kitchen with a bit of butter or grilled outside in the yard with a variety of glazes like honey, maple syrup, or some mustard. It gave it a bit more tenderness and flavor. Perfection is served with side dishes like mashed potatoes, collard greens, cornbread, and even some applesauce. And barbecues couldn't get any better than this. No barbecue was complete without Grandma's delicious Braunschweiger, popularly known as pork liver sausage. No coincidence that meat was named after its place of origin. The diet found its way to the U.S. by word of mouth and became a huge part of Midwestern culture. While liver is generally an acquired taste, it was certainly a delicacy then and prepared with Grandma's recipe. Not only did it taste great, but it was also a more healthy option for those who were health conscious. The natural seasoning of the pork liver sausage gave it a rich and smooth, slightly tangy taste, and it was also spreadable and ideal for crackers and sandwiches. What usually made the difference was the spread that accompanied the pork liver. It could be served with rye bread, mustard, pickles, or eggs. Whatever the combination, the rich and earthy flavors made it a great comfort food. Grandma's BBQ ribs were usually the talk of the table, with everyone fussing at the recipe and throwing 5-star reviews. BBQ ribs are full-on American dishes rooted in Southern barbecue tradition. The grilling styles may differ from one part of the country to the next, and Grandma's version of preparing the ribs was usually rich and well seasoned with a dry rub made out of spices like garlic powder, paprika, salt, and others before grilling over a low heat. The ribs would never be complete without the thick and sweet sauce that dripped with every bite. Combining tasty flavors like molasses, brown sugar, vinegar, ketchup, and more, it created a sticky caramel-colored, mouth-watering coating for those baby back ribs. It needed no sidekick, but Grandma always made sure it was accompanied by cornbread, coleslaw, potato salad, or even baked beans. One of the oldest Southern dishes was fried green tomatoes. Though its origin had always been in question by historians, the recipe is simple, requiring gifted hands, especially in slicing and whisking. To relive this crunchy bite at your convenience, you slice up a few firm and unripe green tomatoes onto a flat tray, dredge them in cornmeal, dip them in an egg wash, and put them back in cornmeal again, then fry until golden and crispy. The crunchy goodness is usually served with remoulade sauce for a mouth-watering dipping experience. Other appetizers that taste great with the fried green tomatoes are shrimp and pimento cheese, and there's nothing quite like the delicious smell of freshly made greens with a tangy sauce. And since they were coated in corn flour and eggs, They combine to form a crunchy heaven. Sadly though, this recipe's not common today, but those who still remember it enjoy a rare snack. Another wholesome barbecue dish that time forgot is beer-marinated Bratwurst. This interesting dish of German descent is a type of sausage, and the practice of marinating sausages in lager or beer emerged from a culture where beer was as good of a cooking essential as vinegar. The idea behind it was to enhance the taste of the brats, allowing the flavor of the beer to seep into them in the marinade. It was usually dependent on the chef, but contained bell peppers, onions, black pepper, bay leaf, garlic, and beer, and after simmering, the brats are grilled to that delicious golden brown with a crispy exterior. The beer, onions, and other edibles from the marinade were used as toppings on the brats, and everyone loved the rich and malty depth that the beer added to the spicy, smoky flavor, and it can be enjoyed with a nice potato salad or sauerkraut. If you've been paying attention so far, you may have heard me mention cornbread a few times. That's because no barbecue was complete without it. If your grandma was as meticulous as mine, it was always a duo of cornbread with honey butter. Cornbread has its tentacles in various regions with roots in Native America. From the preparation of maize into flatbreads, the cuisine was popular in the South and Midwestern regions, adding to their creativity by putting in butter, milk, and sugar for a more wholesome taste. The honey butter adds a twist to the delicious tale with its sweet and creamy texture, making the bread a lot more savory. Cornbreads and honey butter are passed around at tables, and it's a delightful smell that brings a sense of comfort and tradition and redefines home cooking. Cornbread is very much a part of modern barbecue foods as ever, and whether it's homemade or purchased from the confectionery, it remains a staple in every barbecue, even more so with certain communities. Maybe you're familiar with pickled eggs. If you said no, I wouldn't blame you. It's a practice that's rare these days and dates back to old Europe. It became popular in American taverns and homes in the 19th century, especially in rural areas where the need for preserving food for the winter by any means was a huge deal. The pickling of eggs began as a way to ensure the supply was year-round, and then somewhere along the way, somebody decided to get creative. The process is simple and the outcome is satisfying, and if you're feeling adventurous and would like to try it, it's quite simple. Hard-boil your eggs and peel them, then dunk them in pickling brine made of vinegar, water, salt, sugar, and additional spices, along with some beet juice for that exotic bright pink color. Then you marinate those eggs for a while and they'll be well preserved and absorb the flavors around them, giving you that bold and tangy flavor. Pickled eggs are often missing from modern barbecues, but not on Grandma's table. Pork and beans are a classic combination that's aligned itself as a comfort food for the longest time. The hearty recipe is common in many households, affordable and easy to prepare. The smoky and salted flavor of the pork meets the rich and creamy tasty flavor of the beans and creates a barrage of flavor. What does the magic is the tomato-based sauce and molasses that creates a balance of taste. The pork and beans combo is the unsung side piece, adding color, variety, and flavor to every other dish. It's a beloved home-cooked dish that's absolutely devoured at family gatherings and casual backyard barbecues. Barbecue bologna is an all-time favorite at every grill gathering and a big deal in the South, even though this comfort food finds its roots in Italian cuisine. Barbecue bologna was a simple transformation of the processed meat into a smoky and flavored relish. Not as expensive as a brisket and other high-grade meats, it gives out an awesome taste at a fraction of the cost. The preparation was usually simple, creating shallow cuts on the surface of the meat, which helped to smoke and sauce to penetrate. The sauces were usually a mixture of spices like paprika, garlic, and black pepper, and it evoked a sense of nostalgia, bringing back memories of affordable family barbecues. Next up is the mouth-watering taste of lamb chops on the grill. This dish has been a barbecue favorite for centuries because of its undeniable tenderness and rich flavor when grilled. Lamb ribs or tenderloins are the most used parts, and when marinated with a mixture of herbs and olive oil, The flavor is exceptional. Lamb chops have been categorized as high-quality meat consumed by the wealthy, and over time became more common as an irresistible dish for casual and special occasions. Hush Puppies are a Southern dish made out of simple cornmeal batter. They became synonymous with Southern comfort food. The exact origin of this delight is still unknown, and no one can really claim it, but it has ties to Native American use of cornmeal, which, of course, was adapted by European settlers. These delightful golden brown crunchies often accompany fish fries, barbecue meat, coleslaw, and tartar sauce for that awesome dipping experience. The crispy exterior in perfect balance with its soft and flavorful interior is the perfect side piece to any meal. Nothing is as refreshing as Grandma's homemade lemonade or sweet tea. It's one of the most common drinks in the heat of the summer. Whenever you got back from a hard day's work, you always had a glass of homemade lemonade or sweet tea to quench your thirst. And making this natural, healthy drink is rather easy. Slice lemons into halves and squeeze all the juice into a bowl, and be sure to get the seeds and the pulp out in the process. Then dissolve measured sugar in water over a heated stove to create a syrup and pour that into the lemon juice. Lemonade is then ready. Now some may dilute to taste with water before leaving it in the fridge to chill, and others prefer to put slices of lemon straight into the mug to give it that aesthetic look and allow a more lemony flavor to seep into the mix. Then the drink is ready. In the case of iced tea, this classic Southern drink goes back to the 19th century, coming in two major types, green and black. Black tea is the preferred tea for this type of sweet beverage because of its flavor. And to make it, you simply throw in some tea bags and steep it in boiling water, and then when it's nice and dark, you add measured amount of sugar while it's hot and stir to dissolve. Then just place it in the fridge to cool and add a dash of lemon or mint for that distinct taste. Which of these recipes do you remember the best? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.